Welcome back to Sidelines TV. I'm here today at the beginning of the 2013-2014 season at the Winter Equestrian Festival in Wellington, Florida. And I happen to have Meg Krueger, who's the VP of Sales and Sponsorship for all that goes on here at WEF. Meg, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Great, thanks. Meg, you were an equestrian before you took this job. How did you transition from your passion into a job that did it? Because there's so many people that would like to figure out that niche, and you managed to.
Well, I started, obviously I've loved horses my whole life. I went to university for business and international business and relations. And when I came out, I found that I didn't want to stay in the regular business world. I wanted to carve out a place in the equestrian world that was connected to business, which I'm very passionate about. And I started running my own horse shows in Canada, and I did that for about 7 years before coming down here. And I love that aspect of running horse shows and being involved in the management of the events because it ties in my love of business, my love of horse sport, and down here we're constantly evolving and pushing the limits of what the sport offers, and that for me is very exciting and rewarding.
Yeah, it's been an exponential growth over the last several years, and I'm sure you played no small part in that. What do you think was the single biggest factor driving the change here?
I definitely believe that Mark Bellissimo and Catherine Bellissimo, the managing partners of this venue and this company, as well as the partners that they've pulled together, and their vision have really been a big part of getting this to where it is today. And of course, we have a great team. We have a lot of fun together. We work very hard, and we love what we do. So that's a big part of it as well.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you about that too. For people that don't know, Meg's slightly adventurous, and this past winter, she decided to go to Mongolia, of all places, on a sort of equestrian adventure. Can you tell us about that?
Definitely. I was in Mongolia this June for 2 weeks, and I went on a spiritual, cultural trek across Mongolia from the capital, Ub, up into Siberia and back. It was very focused on riding. We traveled very often on horseback, and we ended up staying with the nomadic people who herd and ride reindeer for several days when we reached Siberia, the Siberian mountains.
How was it to be so wickedly off the grid?
It was incredible. It was definitely something to transition towards a lot of the comforts of home that we're used to, such as washrooms, showers, central air and heating. We didn't have any of that. We were camping, we were living off the land, and but it was very beautiful, it was very peaceful. There weren't a lot of distractions. It was really just about the wind and the land and the animals, and it was really an incredible experience.
And did you notice that they have a level of riding that's equal with anyone here, just without the rhinestone crops?
No, the riding was definitely very different. Horses there are, they're an animal like a cow or a yak or a goat. It's part of a family's wealth. They're used for transportation. They are very passionate about their animals. They care for them throughout their lives. And the animals literally wander loose through the property or through the countryside, and the families who own them follow them, whereas here we generally keep them confined in our own paddocks. There, the concept of owning land is very different, and so people just follow wherever the animals want to go. They follow their animals. So it was very different.
It must be a challenge trying to grab a horse. My daughter complains about getting one in a 40 by 40 pen.
Yeah, well, these ones seem to stay very much together. They're very herd bound, so I guess when you get into a herd, they don't seem to have any problems catching them.
That's great. Well, Meg, is there anything exciting coming up for this season at WEF?
We've always got excitement at WEF. We have some great new sponsors, a lot more prize money added, and a lot of extra amenities. Every year we're constantly trying to improve the experience, so there's definitely a lot of new activity happening this winter.
You know, or is it too soon you can tell any of the sponsors?
Well, we have, of course, FTI Consulting, our title sponsor, is back again. We've just announced a great partnership with Rolex. They have sponsored here in past years, and they're doing an incredible new contribution in addition to their sponsorship. And we have a great wealth of others. I could list them all.
Yeah.
There's so many of them to list.
But every year it's a new adventure. That's so exciting.
It is
I have one final thought. You're an adventurous person, like I'd said. What's on the horizon next time?
For myself?
Yep.
Next summer, I'll be climbing Mount Kilimanjaro with a friend of mine. We're doing it I actually have started a charity which is connected to horse rescue and So we're climbing in benefit of that charity, and we'll be going up in August.
What's the name of the rescue?
It's called Horse Rescue Network.
Great. Well, Meg, thanks so much for taking the time. It's always a pleasure.
Thank
Great.
you very much.
Yep. For Sidelines TV, I'm Rob Jordan.